Okay, so the lasso tool. There are two available in Fireworks, the lasso tool and the polygonal lasso tool. We'll look at lasso tool first. So the lasso tool it kind of puts a lot more of the control in terms of cutting something out in the hands of the person who's using it. Obviously the magic wand, you're relying on Photoshop, Fireworks in this case, but the same in Photoshop. You're relying on Fireworks to make a determination of what to select and what not to select. And obviously Photoshop and Fireworks don't see pictures the same way we do. So we're going to zoom in. So we're going to use Control and the plus sign on our keyboard, or you can use the zoom tool at the top, or the magnifying glass if you feel so inclined. We're going to go into lasso tool over here. And the way it works is we have to find a starting position. So we'll start at the top of her head, and we click and hold the mouse button down, and then we literally trace all the way around her. Now obviously we're going to be a lot better at deciding what we want to keep than Fireworks is. Fireworks isn't able to determine what's a face and what's an arm and what's a tree. It just looks at lots of coloured squares and works out which coloured squares it thinks to get rid of. It's not always right. Now obviously because I've zoomed in and therefore I've made a mistake there. Yeah, I mean you can see it's I mean obviously if you're better at this than me, it's probably a more useful tool. But it is quite time consuming. For a larger picture like this, probably a combination of the two would be better. I would suggest getting rid of whole chunks of the background using the magic wand, and then once you're left with just the character and little bits, to then trace around it and start getting rid of parts. This is not the best way of doing it. Something else you'll notice there, when I clicked and I started dragging around, if I let go, it will literally join up my start position up here and my end position with a straight line. So wherever I end up, it will do that straight line. So it's something to keep in mind if you're going to trace around something. Try and get back to your start position as best you can, because if you leave it to Fireworks, it will just do that straight line. That's unlikely to be what you wanted, unless you were just sort of cutting out, say, this window where you could just do this and leave it to do the last part itself. So that is the lasso tool, and in the final video I will show you the polygonal lasso tool, for which I will probably I'll probably cut the house out with that, I think.